You ever look up at the night sky and just feel something, a connection? Well, that feeling is way more real than you probably think. See, the story of the cosmos, with all its exploding stars and distant galaxies, that's not some far-off tale. It's your story. It's our story, and it's written in stardust. So let's just cut right to it with a huge question. I want you to look at your hand for a second. Really look at it. Think about the physical stuff that makes you, well, you. The atoms in your skin, in your bones, in your blood. Where did it all come from? Here's a spoiler. It didn't start here on Earth. To get to the bottom of this, we've got to go back. I mean, way, way back. All the way to the very dawn of time to see what the universe was working with. Right after the Big Bang, the universe was, incredibly simple. It was pretty much just this giant, expanding cloud of the most basic stuff you can imagine. Hydrogen and helium. And, okay, a tiny, tiny little sprinkle of lithium. But that's it. That was the entire parts list. But think about what wasn't on that list. There was no iron. The stuff that's in our blood? Nope. No calcium for our bones and teeth. And no oxygen to breathe. All the key ingredients for life as we know it, they just didn't exist yet. That's a pretty big problem if you want to build, well, anything complex. So where did it all come from? Well, the answer was forged in fire, literally. The universe needed a way to build bigger, better atoms. So it created the most incredible factories imaginable, stars. And this is the absolute key to everything. A star is so much more than just a pretty light in the sky. It's a giant nuclear factory. Down in its core, gravity is crushing atoms together with so much force that they fuse into brand new, heavier, more interesting elements. You can think of it like a cosmic assembly line that runs for millions or even billions of years. It starts simple. Hydrogen gets squeezed into helium. Then, as the star's core gets hotter and denser, helium gets fused into carbon. And that carbon becomes oxygen. Then oxygen becomes silicon, and on, all the way up to iron. Stars are literally element-making machines. Okay, so the stars have done all this amazing work creating new elements. But that's only half the battle. All that good stuff was still trapped. And this brings us to the next and maybe most important step, getting it all out. Right, because what good is all that carbon and oxygen if it's locked away deep inside a star's core? To build planets, to build life, to build us, those elements had to be set free and scattered across the cosmos. And this is where the universe gets really, really dramatic. The biggest, most massive stars, they don't go out quietly. When they finally run out of fuel, their core collapses, and they die in one of the most violent and spectacular events in the entire universe. We're talking about a supernova, an explosion so insanely powerful it can outshine its entire galaxy for a little while. And this explosion is the universe's ultimate delivery service. It blasts all those precious, life-giving elements that the star spent its whole life creating, scattering them like seeds across the galaxy. And get this, it gets even crazier. The explosion itself is so incredibly energetic that it actually forges all the elements that are even heavier than iron. So every single atom of gold in your jewelry, or silver, or the uranium in power plants, all of it was created in the final, fiery death of a massive star. Unbelievable, right? So now we've got all these crucial elements, this stardust, scattered everywhere. And this is the point in the story where cosmic history starts to become our history. This is where it all comes home. That cosmic dust over billions of years started to clump together. It formed new stars, new planets, and eventually life. That iron atom in your blood, the one carrying oxygen through your body right now, it was cooked up in the core of a dying star. The calcium that makes your bones strong, it was forged in a supernova and hurled across space. The very oxygen you're breathing in and out was born in the heart of a star. So let's really let that sink in. This isn't just some cool, abstract story about space. At the most fundamental level possible, this is the story of where you came from. You can think of yourself as a living, breathing time capsule. Seriously, your body carries the literal evidence of ancient stars, of spectacular cosmic explosions, of the entire 13.8 billion-year history of the universe. Just think about this for a second. Some of the atoms that make you, are older than the sun itself. And with every breath you take, you're inhaling atoms that have been around for billions of years, atoms that may have passed through a dinosaur. which leads to this incredible conclusion. The universe isn't just a place you live in, the universe is in you. 10 billion years. That's how old some of the atoms holding you together right now are. Let that number just sit with you for a moment. You aren't just like stardust. You literally are stardust. So the next time you look up at the night sky, remember that you're not separate from it. You are a living, breathing, thinking part of the cosmos. You're made of recycled stardust. You are, in a very real sense, the universe experiencing itself.